In 2008, Warren Buffett issued an open challenge to all the hedge funds that they'll not be able to beat the S&P 500 index over a period of 10 years. And one of the hedge funds, Protege Partners, accepted that challenge. At the end of the bet, the S&P 500 index generated a return of around 7.1% per annum, while the hedge fund only gave 2% returns after deducting all the fees. Buffett has often publicly said that I just think that the best thing to do for a know-nothing investor is to invest 90% of his funds in an S&P 500 index. तो ऐसी क्या खास बात है इस इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोडक्ट में कि दुनिया के सबसे अमीर इन्वेस्टर इसको हर बार रिकमेंड करते रहते हैं? Welcome to another video on Finity. Today I'll be explaining all the details about index funds and I'll also be showing how to invest in them. Before explaining index funds, we have to first understand what an index is. An index is basically a basket of companies which is created to replicate a certain part of the market. A stock market index shows how a particular industry, sector, or the entire economy is performing. An index collects data from a variety of companies which are selected based on some parameters set by the index creation company. In India, Nifty 50 and Sensex are the two most important indices. Sensex is the flagship index of the Bombay Stock Exchange, which is a basket of 30 biggest companies of India. On the other hand, Nifty 50 is the main index of the National Stock Exchange. It is a basket of 50 large cap stocks and it is created in such a way that it tries to replicate the entire stock market. Over the years, Nifty and Sensex have become the stock of the nation. So if an investor wants to check how the entire Indian stock market is performing, they can just look at the movement of Nifty or Sensex. Now let's see how an index works. Assume a grocery index. This index consists of 5 items: wheat flour, tea, coffee, rice, and potato. According to the weights of each item in the index, the average price of this index on day 1 is 500 rupees and the index's starting value is 1. So now when the average price of these index increase from 500 to 600, their index's value will also go up from 1 to 120, reflecting a 20% increase in the price of all the goods in the grocery index. Similarly, when the average price of these goods decrease from 500 to 250, the index's value will also go from 1 to 0.5. So that's how an index moves. So whenever you see the price of Nifty 50 going up by 2% in a single day, it just means that the weighted average of all the stocks in that index has gone up by 2%. By the way, Nifty 50 currently has stocks from these 9 sectors. Can you guess which sector has the highest share in the Nifty 50 index? Comment करके मुझे अभी के अभी बताओ. Okay, so now the concept of index is hopefully clear. So let's move on to understanding index funds. Index funds are exactly what the name suggests. They are mutual funds which copy a particular index. When you put money in an index fund, the cash is used to invest in all the companies of an underlying index, which gives you access to a diversified portfolio rather than directly investing in a few stocks. Index investing is a low risk and tension-free way of participating in equity. Investors of index funds do not have to constantly follow the market, read up about new companies, because this fund is just copying the index. And that's why, since investing in index funds does not demand a lot of your time, this is known as passive investing. That's how index funds are different from actively managed mutual funds. While actively managed mutual funds constantly try to beat the benchmark and get superior returns, index funds simply copy their benchmark and try to get similar returns. That's why in the case of index funds, there is no need of an efficient research team, constant rebalancing like in the case of mutual funds, which brings us to the biggest advantage of index funds: low managing cost. Index funds have an expense ratio anywhere in the range of 0.05% to 0.5%, while actively managed mutual funds have an expense ratio of anywhere between 0.5% to as high as 2% in some cases. क्योंकि इंडेक्स फंड्स चलाने में कम मेहनत लगती है, इसीलिए इनका फीस भी म्यूचुअल फंड से बहुत कम रहता है. But are index funds any good? In India, the majority are investing in equity mutual funds and frankly, they are giving very good returns. So in that case, why do we need index funds at all? For that, let's look at India's benchmark index, Nifty 50. If we look at the method of maintaining this index, it is written that Nifty 50 tracks the performance of top 50 large cap companies based on free float market capitalization akin to most popular global indices, and as a part of its semi-annual review, removes stocks that would have fallen in market cap and adds emerging stocks that would have increased in market cap, thereby increasing the exposure of the index to emerging stocks and sectors. Basically Nifty 50 हर 6 महीने में उन सारे स्टॉक्स को निकाल देता है जो अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं करते और नए इमर्जिंग लार्ज कैप स्टॉक्स को डालते रहता है. Have a look at this table. 60% of the times Nifty 50 has given a return of more than 50% over a 10-year period. That means your money will double in less than 5 years if you get such returns. Similarly, over a period of 7 years, 78% of the times Nifty 50 has given more than 10% each year. That's pretty impressive. This brings us to the main point. If Nifty itself is giving close to around 15% in the long run, then how much extra are these actively managed mutual funds able to deliver? Turns out, forget extra returns. These mutual funds are not even able to beat the index in the long run. From 2009 to 2018, every year, at least half of the mutual funds have given lesser returns than the index. Similarly, if you look for any investment horizon, 1 year, 2 years, 7 years, most of the large cap funds have again underperformed the index, and this we can see from the following table, and these results are confirmed by the Spiva report as well. So this is the 2021 edition of the Spiva report. Let's look at the large cap category. 86% of the funds have failed to beat the BSE 100 index in the last 1 year horizon. 86.67% of the funds have failed to beat the index over the last 3 year horizon. 82% of the funds have failed to beat the index over a 5 year period horizon, and 66% of the funds have failed to beat the BSE 100 index over a period of 10 years. Similarly, if you look at the BSE 200 index, 53% of the funds failed to beat the index in the last 1 year. 76% of the funds failed to beat the index over a 3 year horizon. Again, 76% of the funds failed to beat the index over a 5 year horizon. And almost 50% of the funds could not beat the index over a period of 10 years. It is very clear that most of the funds right now are not able to beat the index in the short run as well as the long run. तो basically index funds सस्ते हैं और वो long term में consistently अच्छे returns भी देते हैं. And that's why Warren Buffett constantly says that a retail investor should stick to these index funds for their long term investing. And I think it makes sense. I believe there are two prerequisites of active investing. First, you need the knowledge to figure out what stocks to buy, how to pick winning mutual funds, which mutual fund managers are performing good. And second, you need the time to execute this knowledge. But let's face it, most of us retail investors do not have the knowledge as well as the bandwidth to do the research every single time. And that's why index funds is good for majority of the investors. And the index funds frenzy is slowly catching up in India. In October 2021, index funds reported a net positive inflows of 3514 crores, which was more than any other category of equity mutual funds. And between March 2016 and March 2021, the AUM of passive funds, index funds as well as ETFs rose from 22,000 crores to 3,10,000 crores, reflecting a CAGR of 69%. That's huge. Now the most important part, how do we pick the right index fund? Well, it's extremely simple to analyze an index fund. Since this fund is replicating an index, the best index fund will be the one which gives the closest return to the benchmark index. So if we are looking for a Nifty 50 index fund, the best fund will be the one which has given the closest return to its benchmark in the last 5 year or 10 year horizon. But generally the index fund is not able to get the exact returns like the index for two major reasons: fees and tracking error. These are the two factors that we'll look at before picking any index fund. First, fees. Every fund charges some fees from the investors for managing the fund, which is known as expense ratio. Now, since the fund manager of an index fund does not need to formulate a strategy to manage your money, the expense ratio of these index funds are extremely low. But the fees for every index fund is different. So lower the fees, better for you as an investor, because unlike the returns which keep changing constantly, the fees will always be deducted. और fees तो आपके return से ही deduct होता है, तो जितना कम fees उतना ज़्यादा returns. Let's understand with an example of two index funds. तो इधर मैंने Finity में सारे Nifty index funds खोल दिए. इधर SBI Nifty 50 index fund का expense ratio 0.18% और आदित्य बिरला Sun Life index fund का expense ratio 0.34%. तो मतलब 0.16% का difference है. So now if you had invested 25,000 rupees every month in these two funds, and both the funds gave exactly the same returns except for their expense ratio, then your SBI Nifty index fund would have given close to 68.81 lakhs, while Aditya Birla Sun Life Index would have given around 67.97 lakhs. A difference of more than 80,000 rupees. Just because their expense ratios differed by just 0.16%. That's the impact of expense ratios on your mutual fund. Now imagine if you had invested in an actively managed large cap fund which charged an expense ratio of around 1.5%. आपका literally लाखों का loss हो गया होता. So the first tip while investing in an index fund, low cost is your best friend. Second, tracking error. In simple words, tracking error is the difference between the fund's returns and the returns of an underlying index. Tracking error can also be described as the relative risk of an investing portfolio as compared to its benchmark. Now, there are a lot of reasons for tracking error to exist. The expense ratio is one major reason, fund managers holding some proportion of the funds as cash, illiquidity, taxes paid by the fund houses, etc. etc. But ideally, lower the tracking error, better the fund. These are the two main factors which you should look at while picking an index fund. Apart from these two factors, you should also assess your risk appetite and your investing horizon before you choose the index where you want to invest your money. Now coming to the most important part, how to invest in index funds. ये तो बहुत ही simple है. You just have to create an account on any platform that sells mutual funds like Finity. Here I have opened Finity. I have filled my details and KYC process takes less than 2 minutes. Then within the app, there is a separate section for passive investing. Let's click on it. Now there are different sections according to your needs. Nifty backed index funds, Sensex backers, thematic index funds, and they also have global indices. You can invest in any of these index funds. The minimum amount for investing one time is around 5,000 and you can start an SIP of as little as 500 rupees. So yeah, it's pretty easy. If you have invested in mutual funds before, then index funds won't be an issue for you. So that was my attempt to explain index funds. I hope I was able to clear some of your doubts about passive investing. आज के लिए इतना ही guys. If you found anything valuable in this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to Finity's YouTube channel. This is Anshuman. Goodbye.